Hello everyone! In this video we're going to talk about all the natural notes and all their locations on the fretboard of the guitar, and we're going to also relate them to the standard musical notation. In the description box below you can find a PDF to download which contains the exact same format that I'm going to be using while I write and explain the topic that we're going to be talking about. I highly recommend you to download it and follow along taking your own notes, because that way you're going to involve more areas of your brain and your learning is going to be deeper and better for long-term retention. Of course, you can only watch the video and you're still going to learn, but if you are trying to get that memory to work, this is the way to proceed, according to some theories. Anyway, you can do whatever you want. Let's go to the lesson. So we're going to begin with the notes that we have on the 6 open strings, because it is a very good point of departure in this adventure. So, starting from the first string, which is the upper line of the fretboard diagram, we have E. The second string is B, third string is G, fourth string is D, we got A, and we end up with E on the 6th string. The next step that we usually do is learning the natural notes on the first 3 frets, which would give us the following notes. On the 6th string, we got E as an open string, then we got F, we have G on the 3rd fret. If we move to the 5th string, we have A as an open string, B on the 2nd fret, and C on the 3rd fret. Then the 4th string is D as an open string, E on the 2nd fret, and F on the 3rd fret. Then we move to G, the G string, the 3rd string. We got 2 notes over here, G as an open string and A on the 2nd fret. We move along to the 2nd string, where we have B as an open string. After B we always get C right next to it, and 2 frets in front we get the next note, which is D. And finally, on the 1st string we have E as an open string, F on the 1st fret, and G on the 3rd fret. Let's move to finding these notes on the music staff. If we write 3 lower ledger lines, and below the 3rd one we get the E that we have as an open 6th string. After that we need to write again 3 ledger lines, and the note F that is right next to this E is found right on top of that ledger line. We move along and we got G of the 6th string on fret number 3. We have it there. And then the next notes, which are found so far on the 5th string, we find them over here. We have 2 ledger lines, A, 1 ledger line, B, and 1 ledger line. On top of it, we got C. After that, we have the fourth string with D as an open string, 2nd fret, E, and 3rd fret, F. Then the next 2 notes on the 3rd string, we have G over here and A. Moving along, we have string number 2 with B as an open string, C on fret 1, and D on fret 3. Open 1st string on fret 1, and 1st string on fret 3. I could write more beautifully, but I won't. This is fine. As we can see on the fretboard diagram, we have a lot of frets and strings without names, but we don't have that many more notes than these ones. First of all, let's look at this. We're going to color grade the notes that we find on each of the strings, because that is going to clarify lots of stuff that we are going to see. We're going to use yellow for this 6th string. Then we got the 5th string. The 3 notes that we find on the 6th string are these ones over here. Then we have the 3 notes of the 5th string, 3 notes on the fourth string, which we find here. 2 notes on the third string, which we find here. 3 notes on the second string. We have these 3. And finally, the 3 notes of the first string that we have here. I want to talk about the different locations of the same notes. I think exemplifying is going to make it easier, so we are going to jump right at it. So on the 5th string, we have 3 notes, A, B, and C. These 3 notes can be also played on the 6th string on frets 5, 7, and 8 respectively. They are exactly the same notes. That means that if we happen to see this note on a music score, we can either play the string number 6 on fret 5 or string number 5 as an open string, and we are going to be playing the right note. Now let's see the 3 notes that we have so far on the 4th string, D, E, and F. Those can also be played on the 5th string, starting on fret 5. So that would make 5, 7, and 8. Again, the same notes have a 3rd location on the guitar, and that's on the 6th string, starting on fret number 10. Now we know that if we happen to see this note on a music score, we can choose between 3 options. 4th string as open string, string number 5 on fret 5, and string number 6 on fret 10. The 3rd string. So here we have 2 notes, and we can find these 2 notes on the 4th string, starting on the 5th fret, and also on the 5th string, starting on the 10th fret, and also on string number 6, starting on the 15th fret. The next 3 notes that we have on the next string are going to follow the same pattern. B, C, and D. We can find the exact same notes on string 3, starting on fret 4. This is the only difference here. So far, to this point, we had restarted the notes on fret 5. This is the only place where everything moves 1 fret behind. Then we can find them on the other strings as well, 1 fret less than the other ones. Now let's look at the 1st string, which is going to follow the same pattern. We can find these exact same notes, E, F, and G, on the 2nd string, starting on fret 5, on the 3rd string, starting on fret 9 actually, and on string number 4, starting on fret 14. If we happen to be looking at any G on the fretboard, the next note that we are always going to find 2 frets to the front is going to be A. Let's prove that. We have G here, 2 frets to the front, A. Another G over here, and 2 frets to the front, A. Let me find another G. We have another G over here, and 2 frets to the front, A. Now, the last note that we have written down so far on the 1st string is G, which makes the next note 2 frets to the front to be A, for sure. 2 more frets, we got E. 1 fret to the front, we got C. 2 frets, we got D, E, F on fret 13, G on fret 15, A on fret 17, and B on fret 19. Now let's look at those notes on the music staff. 1 ledger line on top gets us A. Ledger line on top, that would be B. Ledger line, that would be C. Ledger line, that's D. 3 ledger lines, that gets us to E. This E specifically, the one on the 12th fret. 3 ledger lines, and on top, that's F of the 13th fret. Then 4 ledger lines, that's G. 4 ledger lines again, but the head of the note above it would be A. And finally, the last note that we get over here. That would be the full spectrum of musical notes, natural notes. that we have on a guitar that has 6 strings and 19 frets, which is like the standard guitar. The new notes going from A to F can be found on the 2nd string, and some of them, not all, but some can also be found on the 3rd string. We are missing a few notes over here. We're going to write them. That's an A, that's an E, and that is a B. And lastly, the last 3 notes that we got here, we don't find them on any other string nor fret on the guitar. Let's mark them over here as well. Then the gray ones from A to F, we have them over here. And now we have color graded the entire fretboard with the different locations of the notes that we have to our disposal when we play guitar. For me, this gave me a lot of peace because I remember that I saw a lot of frets, a lot of strings, so it seemed that there were a lot of notes to learn. But it turns out that there are only 26 different natural notes on the guitar, and that actually, I don't know, it made me feel that there wasn't as much to memorize as I believed before. I don't know if this helps you. It might do, it might not, I don't know, but I wanted to share it with you. Now, the basic takeaways of this video lesson would be as follows. 1, we do have a lot of notes, but they follow a certain order. They will always be in the order A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and most of them can be found on 2 or more places on the guitar. And in following up lessons, we are going to talk about sharps and flats, how to find them, how to calculate them, let's say, and how to write them on the music standard notation system. For my part, this is all I have to say. Be well, see you soon, and enjoy your learning process. Super important, enjoy the process. There's no point in doing something voluntarily if you're not going to enjoy it. And if you're learning music, I think you're doing it voluntarily. I think so. Anyway, see you on the next video.